Welcome to Giant Radio, where we're all about big ideas in sales and marketing and eye-popping discussions with successful entrepreneurs. Turn up the volume and settle in. Now, here's the founder of Giant Jax Media and your host, Paul Hitchcock.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Giant TV. This is Paul Hitchcock. I'm the founder and president of Giant Jax Media, where we help other businesses and solopreneurs to grow and nurture. Really excited to have Brittany Fields Morines here on the show with me. Welcome, Brittany.
Yes. Hi, Paul. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brittany's a marketing strategist with Vistage. And Brittany, you and I have talked offline, got to know each other a bit. I think it's fascinating what's going on with Vistage and you in particular. But tell the audience here listening, what are you focused on at Vistage? What's your role there?
Sure. So my role is actually a brand new position within Vistage, and I can tell a little bit about how we got to creating this position. But essentially, I sit now on the acquisition marketing team, which is about 15 folks. That's entire purpose is to drive leads to Vistage, and my role specifically is around connecting with the chair community and really ensuring that they have the confidence and the awareness of the best tools to grow their practices. So in doing so, I facilitate the marketing hotline, which is a one-to-one strategy session that I do with chairs to discuss pretty much any marketing related challenge or opportunity that they're facing. Sometimes it's a question around LinkedIn. Sometimes it's a question around how to use some of the internal tools within Vistage. And oftentimes it's I don't know what I don't know, and from there we really dive deep into their current recruitment strategy and marketing strategy, and figure out ways to optimize.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And when you got the hotline, do you have a red phone that rings when people call the hotline?
That's still on the docket. I haven't gotten one yet, but I like to think Hotline Bling. If you know that song, the hotline is blinging.
I love it. Well, and then Brittany, so your marketing knowledge is awesome. We've had a chance to dive in a bit on details on stuff, but are you helping chairs at every level, like chairs just coming out of academy, or is it more senior chairs, or just everybody?
Originally, it was focused on helping all of those chairs that have launched after Academy. So we have a couple of different classifications for chairs, whether they're developing their groups or whether they're more established and just looking to fill in one or two. So I really focus on servicing those chairs, about 600 chairs total.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how many exist. And I think I've probably spoken to around 200 of them in these one-to-one marketing hotlines, which has been such a phenomenal experience to not only hear the challenges that they're facing, but also what successes they're having, what's working well. And it's really helped develop some additional initiatives to, again, enhance their experience as chairs.
No, that's great. And when you're talking to these chairs, so 600, that's amazing. That's the US based chairs?
Yep. That's
Yeah,
correct.
US. Yeah, and when you're talking to them, what sort of issues are coming up or challenges you see with the chairs?
I would say the most prevalent challenge is usually I have not marketed or branded myself in years, and I don't know where to start. It's one of those things where it's a muscle that if you're not exercising, you really do fall, or it takes some time to strengthen. Whether it be, improving their brand on LinkedIn, getting into that habit of consistently engaging in outreach. So, probably the biggest challenge is they haven't done it in a while and don't know where to start.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. And I've seen that too with chairs that they're chairs and they didn't have to brand before because they were successful and they had other people doing other things for them. Now it's kind of on their plate. So I've noticed that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I've spoken to chairs that really range anywhere from a year after Chair Academy to 15, sometimes 20 years as a chair. And what's been so interesting is that you really can't stop learning. You really can't stop growing as a chair if you want to remain as effective and efficient for your group as possible. And in the same way that Vistage is all about, continuous learning, continuous development, and we encourage our members to grow over time, chairs that embrace that evolution, it really does correlate to having a thriving practice.
No, that's a great point. And your position came about because I know Vistage is constantly iterating and helping, but it came about. How did it come about? What was the thought process behind it?
Yeah, so I actually came to Vistage almost 3 years ago as a regional consultant,
Okay.
which for those that aren't familiar, the regional consultants really focus on membership sales for the business. I not only focused on inbound leads that came into the business, qualified them, and then connected them with the relevant chair within the community, but I also went out and did my own prospecting, generated referrals within my region.
Yeah.
And that success sort of led me to, or led us as a business, exploring this possibility to offer some consulting and create a position that acted as a liaison between what's currently working with Vistage, what are the best tools and resources to be aware of related to acquisition, and how do we best partner with the chair community to ensure that they have that confidence to go out and recruit as well. So it's really happened very organically, which is awesome.
No, wonderful. And Brittany, when you're talking to chairs, I mean, is there a certain type of a personality or something the chairs have to learn if they don't have the skill as they're growing and having to focus on selling and marketing, branding? I mean, or is it all over the map? Like what do you teach and coach there a little bit?
That's a really good question. I think the first thing that I try to convey to chairs is, to never stop marketing and realizing that in order to keep your group full, you really can't pause on the social engine. So making sure that your social media is up to date, making sure that you're consistently developing content, and more so developing a brand that people can buy into. And that's what I really love about the work that you do, Paul, is that you have this brand centric approach to marketing, and particularly in terms of like video marketing, for instance. I totally believe that video marketing is the future, and it's really the only thing that ChatGPT and AI can't replace nowadays. Yeah, so I think it's really about establishing your brand first and foremost, and also being an intentional networker as well, to intentionally continue to expand your network, whether it be on social media or in person, and focus on that referral piece to generate referrals and continue to have a relationship focused approach.
Yeah, well, thank you for the kind words. And I couldn't agree more with you on the having a process there. I mean, a couple of the new chairs I've started working with are master chairs, and they've been chairs forever, but they didn't plant the seeds for so many years that would allow them to harvest later on. And I think you would probably confirm that there's attrition with the members of the chair groups because people are buying and selling businesses or getting whatever's going on. So having the seed planting going on in a process consistently, would you say you see that with the attrition where you got to have a process in place up front to backfill and so forth?
Absolutely. Even the best chairs have attrition, and sometimes for the best reasons possible.
Right.
I was just speaking to a chair today, and he said 3 of my members were focusing on an exit strategy for them. And it's like, yes, that is the pinnacle of what every member comes into Vistage. They want to sell their business or retire successfully or exit successfully. And even in those cases, you're going to want to make sure that you have a pipeline to continue to make your group full. So it's such a common issue amongst chairs. And if they're not constantly in that mode of recruiting and marketing, it's very difficult to get the engine started.
Yeah, and I got to relay the story because I love it. Is that a particular chair really embraced her brand, elevated brand, and got her media channel set up and was out there making a lot of noise. So much so that her regional noticed, and I had a discussion with a regional about what she was doing, her brand, and then shortly thereafter, she got offered to interview for a vacant group, right? And because she got noticed and she got the group, and it was a life-changing event for her in many ways. But that whole idea, if you're the squeaky wheel that gets the grease, what my mom always used to tell me and my three brothers, people notice. The right people find you when you're out there making noise.
Totally. Yeah. And people, we now have the luxury of internet where people don't need to meet someone in order to have some sort of buying intent. People can now look you up on LinkedIn, look your website up or whatever it might be, and make a decision. I want to engage with this person, or I don't want to engage with this person. And so, in the same way that our potential prospects have this luxury of using the internet, if our chairs aren't also capitalizing on this opportunity, it's a huge missed it's a huge missed way of connecting with prospects.
Agree. Should chairs be on TikTok?
You know, that's a really funny question. And I don't know if they necessarily need to be on TikTok, but what studies have found is even if they're posting on LinkedIn, the most viewed videos on LinkedIn have like a TikTok emblem or a TikTok style to it. I think just because our brains are wired, TikToks figure out the algorithm to keeping our attention. So it could be worthwhile to do a video on TikTok, even if you're not engaging and growing a platform on there, and then leveraging it on LinkedIn.
What you just said is awesome. I've noticed the same thing in the videos I post. Yeah, my kids are horrified I'm on TikTok, and so I like post a TikTok, and I'll post that TikTok video to LinkedIn. It's exactly what you said. The views, because the TikTok, little logos in the corner,
Yeah.
you can see it. And you're right. I don't know what it is, but something happens. Those get the most views. So your point is incredible. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what's interesting is that TikTok is now setting itself up as a competitor of Google, as it becoming a search engine in and of itself. And I know I'm guilty of it on my own, as I'll look up on TikTok what are the best restaurants to enjoy in Orange County, or what are the best workouts to do at the gym for legs.
Absolutely.
And so people are going to TikTok almost in lieu of Google a lot of times. So I can imagine some early adopters of TikTok within the chair community could be a really big competitive advantage, not only to other chairs, but other competitors, in different organizations.
Yeah, that's a great point. And that's a great point, because all the top marketing people in the world are on TikTok doing things. And like you said, there's sports and the workout people. I mean, there's legit stuff on the show. It's not just dog, cat, and like animal videos.
It's so much more evolved. Yeah, absolutely. And it's really just about TikTok's great because it celebrates people and it actually pushes people's content out when they have some sort of unique passion about something. And our chairs are some of the most knowledgeable, eloquent individuals in the world. And so if you have some former tech CEO or some former manufacturing CEO that built and sold so many companies, you're going to be able to get a following of maybe some emerging leader candidates, some key executive candidates. You really just never know where that opportunity could go.
Yeah, no, agree. And the three most visited sites in the world are TikTok, Google, and YouTube, and in that order. And you're right, because on the so when we're getting the social channel set up for chairs, they're all on LinkedIn, and I say, okay, what about a Facebook company page? What about LinkedIn groups, Twitter, all these things, and TikTok? I put it out there, and I said, for the reasons you just mentioned, and it gets a snicker every time, but it's like, okay, get out there, and just amplify yourself. So yeah, I love it. I love it.
Exactly. And more than ever, buyers really need social proof to be able to make a more confident decision. And I think the more that you can get out there, give your own, really help your candidates get familiar with who you are before you meet them, or have your candidates become more familiar with who your group is before you meet them. That's really going to inspire confidence, inspire trust, and lead to a higher engagement down the line.
Yep. Brittany, I could talk with you forever about this stuff. This is really, really awesome. Want to thank you for being on here. And yeah, I know we're staying in touch. So I'd love to track your progress, but thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Great to be here.
Yeah. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.